Well, I think that we'll have to try a lot of different things, because the one thing that he's not only really skilled, but he's really smart. And if you try the same thing, over and over, he can get into a pretty good rhythm. And he's good at, you can't just double team him, because he can split double teams. He's really strong, and he's a really good passer out of the post. So we'll have to mix things up, throw other different looks at him, and different personnel at him too. So, but he's the focus of that team. They want to play through him, and he's got good guys around him, good shooters, and really experienced guys. I mean, they start 5 fifth-year seniors. You'd probably have to look pretty deep into the NCAA rosters right now to see a team that's starting 5 fifth-year guys, and that's a real advantage for him.
There's so much attention to him. Obviously,
it worries you. It really worries you, because Nar hits a couple big threes against us coming off the bench. Jackson hit a couple big threes to end the half last time, and so what we can't do is we can't just stand and wait for him. We have to be the initiators. We got to be the guys on attack, and they play at a really comfortable pace for them, and somehow we're going to have to kind of just mix things up and try to change that pace a little bit.
Corbin's been getting some starts. Do you think he's farther along defensively this time than the first time?
I think so. I think the experience is that just the experience he's had on the floor. I think he's coming off his best game, just a total floor game and minutes played, and hopefully that can kind of carry over into this game here.
What's Anson's status for the game?
Anson's questionable. He's got a groin injury that he's really fighting right now. It's the same leg as the knee. That's been an earlier problem for him, and so we'll see how he feels tomorrow. I mean, he did very little this week in practice, and we're hoping that he'd feel good today, but he's still pretty sore.
When you joined the WCC, you knew about Gonzaga, but did you suspect that St. Mary's would be this?
Well, we played St. Mary's the year we went into the league, the year before, and one of our toughest games in the championship of the Corpus Christi Classic. And we knew from that experience how physical and how tough those games are. I think it was a last possession type win for us with our team that went to I think it was our team that went to the Sweet 16. I think it was we beat South Florida in double overtime. Noah hit a shot, and then that game came right down to the wire to win that tournament. And from there, we had a pretty good idea of how difficult they would be. And then the run with Della Vedova, and now the run with Waldo. I mean, they've had some pretty good players to go along with it.
What's your gut feeling, Coach? Are you going to have to beat the Zags twice or once in Vegas to sneak into where you want to be, Dan?
When do we play the Zags? I mean, we got so much to do before we get there. I think that you look at our situation now, and I don't think we'll match up with Gonzaga in the first round of that tournament. So I don't know if that's I don't know if that's a question that I can answer. If you kind of project what you think might happen, that might be something. But I really kind of try to just deal with what's ahead of us. And we play them the last game of the season, and then hopefully we get a chance to play them in the tournament. If that's what happens, if they get beat in the first round and we advance, and we don't have to worry about Gonzaga anymore. So we'll see.
Is Nate's season over?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's. We had a conversation yesterday, and he doesn't feel like it's healed, and he wouldn't be 100%. And a couple of weeks ago, he was really kind of excited just to get back and try and help the team. And he tried to practice the 3 days we were gone on the trip. Did a lot of individual work and really kind of pushed it, and was really sore on Sunday and Monday. And he just feels like it's not going to work. So we'll look into trying to see if there's a possibility to get his year back.
With Tyler's march toward the scoring record. Have you noticed any change in his game, and if he's pressing or anything at all? Or it seems like he's just really consistent.
Yeah, that's what I just am amazed at how difficult his assignment is every night, and then how good he is in that assignment. There's a lot of attention paid to him, and everybody, you know, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Waldo. We all know what he does, and we all have a plan to try to stop it, and very few guys can do it. And that's what's happening with Ty. I mean, we all know what he does, we all know how he does it, and then everyone has a plan for it. And at the end of the game, you still see that he's scored somewhere between 20 and 30 points and got 4 or 5 rebounds and 2 or 3 assists and a couple steals. And he's just been really consistent. I don't really notice. What I notice is the same approach that he's had for the 3 years that we've had him the last 3 years from his mission.
Coach, as well as Kyle Collinsworth played this year, we forget that he tore his ACL just 11 months ago. What are your thoughts about the season he's been able to have coming off that kind of a serious injury and what he's been able to do?
It's really impressive. I think that I'm just really happy for him, because it was when we left him here and took off for Milwaukee last year in the NCAA tournament. Those are really tough days as a coach, because these guys they play their hearts out to get those chances, and then he didn't have that opportunity. So the success that he's having this year makes me feel really good. But I think that for Kyle, he still has so much room for improvement, and he'll tell you that. He'll be the first one to say that I need to improve my game and increase my game, and hopefully that we can finish strong, and then he can have a really good summer and have a great senior year.
Did you ever run across Coach Tarkanian at all?
I did. I actually had a few years when I was at Dixie where Coach Tark really helped us at Dixie with players, especially players on the East Coast. And I had 2 or 3 guys that played for me that were basically kind of connected to UNLV. He was a fun guy to be around. I remember times where we were at clinics together. I was obviously listening to them and watching him teach his guys. But then we'd go to restaurants after those clinics and have a chance just to talk as coaches, and those were pretty special times and interesting to find the unique approach that he had to coaching his team. And what he thought, what he really valued as far as his defensive philosophy, and then what he really valued his offensive philosophy. And it was fun. It was fun for me because our offensive philosophies were pretty similar. And those teams in the early '90s, it was a 2-hour drive from St. George to go down and watch. I saw a lot of those games, and he was quite an innovator. I mean, what a run he had, and it's a sad day. I know Danny, I know George really well, and his 2 sons, and I just feel for the family. It's got to be a tough day.